Welcome to the Map Suite Web API Basic Styling Sample. In this sample, we want to just give you a quick overview of some of the basic styling that's available in Map Suite, and these samples are built with the Web API Edition. So they're designed to give you a quick start to building your own mapping application and rendering the data in the way you'd like. So when we open up the sample, you'll see we've got several different things over here on the left, and we'll just quickly go through each of these and we'll take a look at some of the code behind them. The first one is just the predefined styles, and within Map Suite we've got several built-in styles that you can just select from an enumeration to render your data. So for example, we've got some here for some of the interstates and the country background, water, etc. The next section shows how to do area styles. So here we just have some outlines of buildings and parks, etc., and we can render them with different colors. From a color picker here, you can set the transparency along with the width of the border. So all of our styles, when you think about filling an area, they're filled with a brush, and then the borders are all going to be with pins, and that's going to be a common theme throughout all the styles found in Map Suite. Next, we're going to take a look at the line styles, which are very similar to the area styles, except we're only dealing with pins. And with the line style, we have three different types of pins: the center pin, the inner pin, and the outer pin. And this allows you to do some really neat rendering for roads and such. So, if you want to have a border or things of that nature, you can really get creative on, the different types of pins you use. And again, you've got the width and the transparency along with the colors along that. Another common thing you'll want to do in a mapping application is have custom icons for your points. So in this example here, we just did some really nice looking school icons to represent where the schools are in town. And so you're free to use any images that you have at your disposal for that. We also have some built-in point styles. For example, there's a triangle. You can choose from circles, squares, diamonds, stars, etc. That way you don't have to have image, and they're all just drawn by Map Suite accordingly. Next, let's take a look at the character point style. So this can be really nice if you have a font that you want to use the characters in. Here we just did H's for hospitals, but you can also use some more elaborate fonts like wingdings and things of that nature, and really get some neat looking point symbols there as well. Next, we wanted to show with this one was just how you can style at different zoom levels. So for example, each time I zoom in one level, you'll see that the styles change. So within Map Suite, you have the ability to configure the style exactly how you want at each zoom level, which can be very handy when you get a more complicated map. And last, we wanted to show compound styles. So our system's built in a way where you can stack styles on top of each other, which really again gives you a lot of creativity to build some really neat looking things. So for example, in this one we've got a circle with a star on top of it. So it really allows you to build up some nice looking styles. And you can do that with points, lines, and polygons. You can just stack them onto the styles collection and really have some great looking effects. Now let's take a look at the code. Like all of our web API samples, we have both leaflet and open layers examples. And most of the JavaScript client-side code is here in the ThinkGeo.js file. I'm not going to go into too much detail there because it's pretty basic JavaScript. We're just, calling the server side and, posting our changes back, getting them back, and then rendering the tiles. So let's take a look at the actual controller on the server side. And here we've got where we get our different styles. I guess this is first of all the REST API that takes in the style that we want to render, the location of the tiles, and then the access ID for which client is accessing it. And here we just call the get style overlay, and we have a case statement here where we build up each of the different styles I just showed you. So try to keep the code nice and clean so you can just go out and pick which one you're interested in and really look at it. So if we take a look here at, for example, get area style, let's go to that. That's going to be here in our layer builder, and we've just got the code in here to where we create our shapefile, create a new area style, set our solid brush, set our pins, and set what zoom levels we want that style to take effect for. So that's pretty common across all of our styles. Of you set all the properties that you want and you say what zoom levels you want it to be applied for. So within this layer builder class, you'll see how we build up each of those styles so you can get a feel for the code. It's all pretty straightforward. Really, it's just setting properties of how you want the styles to look. Really, the only other thing to go on in this sample is we also show you how to both save and retrieve the style up from the server. So as we saw in some of the samples earlier, you could adjust the colors, adjust the widths, etc. And a lot of times people get confused of, well, how do you do that in a stateless REST service environment? So we put that in the sample here where, of course, you've got your access ID, which identifies the client. That could be, their unique user ID or however you do it within your application, and the style ID. And here we're getting the style and we're returning it back in dictionary string object, basically JSON, to be consumed by the client. And then when the client then changes it, there's JavaScript on the other side to post that JSON back up to the server, and that's where we have update style. And again, it has a style ID, who's accessing it, and the new updated JSON. And then you can just persist that on your server, whether you save it to a database or whatever backend storage mechanism you have. So that's pretty much it. This is just a real introduction, easy introduction to the different styles within MapSuite. It kind of gives you a basic overview. You can do a lot more advanced styles. If you're interested in that, I'd have you take a look at the visualization learning sample, because in there we go into a lot more complex styles and even how to build your own custom style if some of these pre-built ones showed in this example don't work for you. As always, if you have any questions, you can post them on our discussion forums, and you can find all this source code within Product Center underneath the Web API Edition Code Samples tab. I hope this video has been helpful, and please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.